everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you are here. If you're new and you like book content, you know, feel free to subscribe. I do some other kind of lifestyle-esque content, but I do a lot of book content here. This is my fourth installment of the ACOTAR reading vlog series. I didn't really vlog the fourth book just because it's so short. It was kind of more of a palette cleanser than like a book to like have reactions to. I gave it a 4 out of 5. After like the intensity of the first 3 books, it was just nice to experience the aftermath of something and experience the characters living a little bit. Since the first book, where she was in like maybe 5 pages total of the whole book, I have always been super drawn to Nesta for some reason. She had like a few really strong moments in the fourth book, and now I have started this book, which is basically like a Nesta spin-off. I read the first about 100 pages at work yesterday. I like temp as a receptionist like 10 days out of the year, and yesterday was one of those days, so I didn't film that obviously because I was at work. I think this is like my favorite book I've literally ever read. This character is like, I love unhinged women, you know, like to Leslie, that was amazing. You know, we have like like opening night, literally the poster behind me. I eat it up. I love Jessica Lange, anything she does, because she always plays like mad women. Not that Nesta's crazy, but she's definitely going through it. I don't want this book to end. I feel like a lot of books I read, I'm like, I enjoy them, but I'm like, I want to like finish this book because I like want to keep reading other books, you know? And this book, I'm just like, I don't want to have read this book because then I don't have it to look forward to. This is a spoiler-free vlog, but I will say, like, if you haven't read the first 4 books, like maybe don't watch this, like maybe read those, like watch those vlogs first. I don't want to speak in code for the entire series, if that makes sense. Like I won't spoil anything that happens in this book, but I feel like at this point, like I would like to talk about certain things freely that have like happened in like the 3rd book or even like the 1st book. So yeah, if you haven't read those, don't watch this, but I feel like you probably have read them if you're watching this, so I feel like it's fine. Let's read. I will say also, as I'm reading this, like I don't care about any scenes that Nesta's not in, or any scenes where like Cassian isn't talking about Nesta. I love the 3rd book. It was very political and I loved that. A lot of people preferred the 2nd book, but I thought the 3rd book was really, really interesting. Having said that, like I feel like we've done that already, so anything now where they start talking about politics, I'm just like, I just want to be back on the steps with Nesta right now. I love this dynamic so much. So Nesta is making some friends in only the way Nesta knows how to, and it's just very snug. It's very snug. Hey guys, sorry, this vlog has not been glamorous at all so far. I spent most of the day getting my life together, and I made another vlog, which should be out by now. You have my frownies on, and you can, since you asked, get your own frownies with my code Emily10 for 10% off. Oh my god, yesterday I dermaplaned my whole face, including my forehead, and the night before I used my frownies, and like, oh my god, it was what a combo. I've been waiting to read this all day. Here I go. I'm on page 116, chapter 10. Yeah, I read like 5 pages last night. I'm just so enjoying like the amount of tension with like Nesta and Cassian and Israel are all at like the breakfast table right now, and like there's just so much tension between Cassian and Nesta, and they're just like going at it, and Azriel's just sitting there like it's so funny. I just love this dynamic, and I think we're over 100 pages in already, and obviously like nothing's happened between the two of them yet, and I think it's just gonna be like such a good build up, and I'm assuming something's gonna happen between them, and when it does, it's gonna be like pretty amazing. I mean, Nesta literally like threw her body over his, like, they obviously don't hate each other given like the history of what happened at the end of like the 3rd book. They're just like, Nesta's, oh, poor Nesta, she's so damaged. She has so much generational trauma. Better call Saul. Just trying to like channel Nesta a little bit, you know. This book is becoming my entire personality.
So pretty.
Really? I'm trying to get a thumbnail. I've got to say, I have no interest in anything that doesn't involve Nesta or Cassian. Like, all this politics, war stuff, like, it's like, been there, done that. I want to know what Nesta's saying to the house. I want to know what the house is giving Nesta. I want to know what she's wearing. I want to know if she's trying to climb down all the stairs to get the wine. I want to know if she just brought a storm into Brooklyn. Like, I want to know. I want all of the little details. Like, I want a full-on character study, like women under the influence, opening night style. I don't care about the war. I don't care about the queens. I don't care about any of it. I want Nesta. They're like at the spring court right now. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. Anyway. I just went on a run because I needed to like process what I read, you know, on my run. I'm on page 211, chapter 18, and I would say we are making progress on the front in which I want there to be progress. Does that make sense? Like, I'm trying to speak in code so there's no spoilers. I'm like so turned on. Like, people like Feyre and Rice, or Reese. I heard someone say Reese. I was like, is it Reesend or Reese? I don't know. But I just feel like it's, don't get me wrong, like I love their love story and it's super hot, but there's something really just so much deeper and more interesting to me about this book and these two characters than Reese and Feyre. It's like there's just such a journey that they have to go on together, and they're like just breaking the surface of it, and I love like getting both of their points of view. It's kind of like when two people are like texting and just getting to know each other, and like they both want to seem cool, but like in a very, very, very high stakes fantasy way. It's just so obvious that like they both obviously are like so hot for each other, but they're just so afraid of their own feelings, and I just love going back and forth. I don't even want to read this quickly. Like I never feel this way when I read. Like I don't want this book to end. I want it to be like a slow burn. I watched like Haley Pham's reading vlog, and she was like, this was like a do not finish DNF, as the kids say. I guess like if you're not into, it's definitely different than the other 4 books because the protagonists are just like different types of people. They think differently and they struggle a lot more, I guess I would say. I find this so much more interesting. The way it deals with like trauma, like how trauma affects people and relationships. I just love it. I just want to play this character so badly. Like I want to dress up as her. I'm just obsessed. Like I don't know how else to say it. God, like I just blabber so much. Also, I've been waiting to kind of understand what the dedication in the beginning meant, because it's
forever Nesta out there climb the mountain, and I think I got to the part, we kind of like knew about the mountain already, but it kind of like solidified what I feel like is going to happen in this book and like where her journey is going. And like if I'm right and if that's the case, like I'm obsessed. Like I'm considering, after I finish this book, making this forever Nesta out there climb the mountain like the background on my phone. Like that's how real it's getting. This makes me like want to like be a Tumblr bitch. Yeah, and like Sarah J Maas just writes these scenes, these like hot scenes where like nothing happens between the characters just so well. Like I think the way she like those scenes where like they don't actually like do anything, I think are so much more sexy than like the actual like spicy scenes, as we say here. There's so much tension. It's just so hot. I love it. Oh, also just one more thing. I know I've really been like rambling, but I am an Aries Scorpio moon, and so I feel like Nesta's temperament, like I really can relate to like that like guttural response to things that she has, very fiery and very like deeply rooted in like very intense emotions. Like I feel like me at my core, I don't know, I feel like I really relate to her emotional life, which is another reason just why I'm so drawn to play her. Again, this is me, Emily Keefe. This is my campaign to play Nesta in the upcoming ACOTAR series. Thank you for your consideration. I am once again asking you to let me play Nesta in the upcoming series of ACOTAR. Oh, I'm on chapter 19. Oh my god. This is too hot to handle. It's who the characters are. Like, we've known them now for like, what, like three real like full-length books, and that's what makes this so like amazing. I've just read like this first half page like 3 times. Oh my god. Like, where are they right now? Are they like in the hallway? That ended just how it should have ended. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so I left off, they're going to a meeting because Az has some like news. I'm just gonna be thinking about everything I just read until I pick the book up again. Loving these other characters that have come in. I love the way Nesta and Cassian continue to think about each other. They're so in denial that the other one likes them. Like, it's so funny. And like, Az is such a massive troll. I'm just loving all of the dynamics. And like, the threat of war looming definitely like adds, like, I feel like if it wasn't present, it wouldn't be as good. But anytime I talk about the war, I'm just like, good morning, everyone. It is, I think, a few days later from the last time I vlogged. I really just needed to take the 4th of July weekend just off completely. I'm on page 407, chapter 39, and I think this might be my favorite book of all time. It is very spicy. I feel like when people say this series is spicy, they're probably referring to this book. The reason that those scenes are good is just because the characters like are so, you know the characters and you love them, and like you've known them for so long, and it's all finally happening. I'm starting to also enjoy the political part of the story because Nesta is getting more involved in that, and it's starting to become more like action oriented. They have visited the middle. The emergence at the end of that scene was incredible. The scene where before they go to the middle and like they discover that they need to go to the middle, and he like pulls her back, just like the way that like it's described of like his warmth and like her coldness. The romance is very symbolic, and the symbolism surrounding trauma and all of that stuff is just really like
powerful. And I'm also just loving the subplot of all of these women joining them. I don't know, like Rice and Feyre or Reese, whatever it is, like I just don't care about them anymore. Like I just don't. Okay, so I'm on chapter, I don't know what chapter I'm on page 444, and we just found out that Nesta made something. There's been an instance with Feyre and now with Nesta where it's like these people know something about these characters and they're like, but we're not gonna tell her. It's like, no, like everyone deserves the right to know what's going on with their bodies. You should tell her. Like you should tell Feyre what's going on with her, and you should tell Nesta what's going on with her. It's creating an interesting dynamic between Nesta and Cassian, potentially. Amren is ridiculous. It's just so like Rice is like, have Feyre be the deciding vote whether or not we tell Nesta, and it's like, but you're not telling Feyre. Also, just a moment to say, like, this book is so dirty. This is by far the spiciest book I've ever read, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Also, this plot line with Feyre, like, I'm not buying it. It's just like, it's a bit of a stretch for me, personally. I just feel like in this world that Sarah J. Maas has created, this whole thing with Feyre, like, they would have like a very, very simple answer to. It's like the one thing I'm like, actually there's a few things in this book where I'm like, I don't know, I'm not overly concerned because she's like the main character. They've also just like Feyre has escaped death so many times that I'm just like, okay. Obsessed with Nesta's interaction with Tamlin. Obsessed.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put it in a blender, shit on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it.
I just got to the part where they have let us know that Nesta has like a love for music, and I am very excited to see what they do with that dynamic. So yeah, shocker, she's upset that they all knew this thing about her and then voted on whether to tell her in her absence. Like, what gives you the right? Whoa. So Nesta's obviously angry.
Hello, my beautiful. How are you in the sun?
Oh no, Nesta said something because she was angry. She's probably gonna regret it, but honestly, Feyre should know anyway. She's not wrong. In a way, Nesta's just repaying what Feyre did for her, which is tell her the truth, you know? Honestly, I think Rice is being just as controlling as Tamlin in this moment, and I'm getting really sick of him. Nesta did what Feyre deserved. Rice was too much of a coward to give that to her, and now he's gonna take out all of his anger on Nesta, and guess what? She's probably gonna kill everyone. You gotta get it together, people. Like, this woman, like, needs help. This woman needs help. I am just so not okay with the way Nesta has been treated this entire time. It's like Rice saw what she endured in the cauldron, and like, just, I don't know, her whole arc, I just feel like no one has shown her love except for Cassian. They all betrayed her. Well, not all of them, but Rice and Amren did. Rice, like, if you're gonna betray me, like, I'm gonna betray you. But I also don't even think that, like, I think that he was betraying Feyre, honestly. Like, I don't think that it's right to keep that from her. It's like, what else did you expect, honestly? I don't know. I feel like when Rice and Feyre were the main characters, I was definitely on their side, but now, like, I'm just like, stop being so, like, perfect all the time. I just feel bad. Like, she should not have to face the consequences for what has happened to Feyre and for, like, telling her. She was really angry, and, like, obviously that fueled her saying it, but I do think that, like, the main reason she said that was out of love, because it's like, I do think Feyre deserves to know, and I think that she felt that deep down, like, and I think she was probably, like, subconsciously even like, even if I have to be the enemy and the one to tell her, like, so be it. Let all of odds be agreed, I'm wicked through and through. I've always been attracted to, like, the villains, or like the meanies as I called them when I was little, and my mom said when I watched Sleeping Beauty for the first time, I was like 2 or 3 years old, and when Maleficent turned into a dragon, I literally got up and, like, Edna mode,
like style when she sees the flames in her eyes and she's like, ah! Sat in front of the TV, cross-legged, and like looked up, and I was just like, wow, Mom, Maleficent's unleashing her fury. And my mom was like, oh my god. I don't know if it's because like I'm a fire sign or like what have you, but I've always been into female characters just like unleashing themselves. Right now I'm just really mad at Ryson. I know like in his heart he thinks he's doing the right thing. I think it's really easy to make Nesta the villain in his story, and like it's really kind of his fault. So it just really stinks for her. The more you push people away that have never had love, like if you were afraid of her powers before, like you should be more afraid of them now. I'm babbling a little bit, I'm ranting. I'm just honestly really angry at Rice. Like he just thinks he's this like moral compass, and it's literally his fault. Again, like I think it's very easy to take somebody like Nesta and like make her the scapegoat. I just feel really bad for her. Wait, I'm so sorry. Now he's gonna make her hike when she doesn't have to? Like what, like didn't we just learn that we shouldn't be keeping secrets from this bitch? Like stop lying to her. Just let her go home. Unbelievable. Because it's also like, okay, like yes, you're gonna make her physically hike, but she still thinks she's banished, and so she's gonna be living in that state of mind when Cassie, I mean, I don't know, I've literally read like a paragraph, but this is unbelievable. Nesta's having a breakdown in the woods. Okay, so think of the mask's power. I'm trying to speak in code so I don't give anything away, but if you think of the mask's power and like what it can do, I wonder if we can relate that to Nesta and Elaine and Feyre's dad at all, or if it's not that kind of thing. This conversation she's having with Cassian is well, I was getting emotional. I've never felt compelled to notate a book until I read this. Like, there are so many lines that I wish I was notating it. I think I might reread it. There's just so many good quotes. Just talking about, like, depression and mental illness and overcoming it. Wow, the power of women. Let's see. Okay, I'm on page 520, chapter 52. Even though there's a good amount of pages left, I'm just like, there are so many loose ends and so many questions I have about, like, literally all of the characters. I remember when I read the first book, she really had, like, the majority of the action happen, like, in the last 100 pages, and it felt like the climax happened, like, at the end of the book, and it was just very, like, action-heavy at the end. So, and I felt that way about the second and third book, too, I think. So, I feel like there's a lot in store in these last 200 pages. If one of these Night Court members says like calls to like one more time as if it is an original thought, like calls to like, it's like, have an original thought. Ugh. Our girl Nesta she's delivering. They are about to get out of the prison, so it seems. Okay, the way that prison chapter ended and the way the next one, chapter 55, started, Sarah J. Maas, you're a massive troll. The house's solstice gift is very snug. In case you're wondering, you can try Frownies for 10% off with my code Emily10, link in description. So they just got to the Court of Nightmares for the winter solstice, and I'm just like, what's the plan for this dance? It's like, okay, they dance, and then what? And then what? And then what happens? Have we thought that far in advance, or do we just kind of throw Nesta to the wolves and like let her figure it out all the time? Honestly, pissed at Feyre and Rice for this whole situation. I don't think it's necessary, and they're really starting to annoy me as people. Rice is really getting on my last nerve. Okay, so I'm on chapter 58, page 595. I obviously fell asleep last night. Still have my Frownies on though. So I just finished chapter 58. I just, like, at the beginning of that scene thought it was gonna go somewhere else, and then it didn't. It went the complete opposite direction. Thank God it did. Fuck. I called this so early. I guessed what the mountain was. Their fight's stupid. This is all going how I thought it would, kind of. Part 4, let's go. Nesta's knife work on page 666. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so sad, like, what do I have, like about 90 pages left, and I'm just like, this is the end of, like, the series as of now. I'm really, really sad. I don't want these characters to leave my life. I like how this dramaturgically is set up right now, given what happened between Nesta and Cassian, and like where Nesta is, where Cassian is, and like what they're both dealing with. I think everything's just gonna come together really nicely, and it's gonna be amazing. Right into his groin. Right into his groin. I live for these types of character arcs. This is why I'm alive, to experience character arcs like these, honestly. That's how I feel. Honestly. I don't know why I'm crying. She's come so far. I'm so proud of her. She does, like, she's starting the fire, and it's not even bothering her anymore. Oh. Also, I just want to say, like, I'm so done with Feyre and Rice and their stupid bargain that they made. I'm so over them. Over them. I'm just over them. Old news. I'm also just thinking, like, for Gwyn, this is just so traumatizing. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm getting, like, emotional just, like, being alone in this situation. Like, that's all. Yes! God, so badass. I just love that it's, like, about friendship bracelets. Like, this whole thing is about the power of friendship bracelets. I'm just so proud. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'm just so proud. The badassery, it just makes me emotional. I want to get a framed photograph of Nesta and Emery and Gwyn and put it on my wall. Like, yes, like, it's a very action-heavy scene, which is great, but it's the 680 pages previous of utter brilliant character study that makes this action, like, have such a payoff. Like, I think they're gonna reach the top. Find something new to call us. So good. Literally. Wow. This is just gonna be so good for Nesta's, like, development as a person. Just be, like, having to do all of this without their powers. They're just gonna have, like I think Nesta's really gonna have a lot of self-respect after this, and I think a lot of other people will respect her more than they did before. Gwyn. I am obsessed with Gwyn's arc. Wow, the power of women. Oh. I slept in my makeup last night. Okay, this once again, just like, okay, I'm on page 708 and there's only like 750 pages, and I'm just like, we're really all in some high stakes situations here, and it's, you know, Sarah does not like to have a long resolution conclusion period time in her books. Like, she likes the climax right at the end. Okay, so I'm starting chapter 74. The crown is heavy, darlings, but maybe don't leave it where it belongs in this case. I figured I should lie low while you did that. Wow. Just like the exhale we all needed, you know. Okay, now we're back in the house, but I just want to say, like, that moment with the crown, honestly, like, it was a little anticlimactic. It just happened very fast, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, now we're back. Now we're back here, I guess, and there's another problem. Like, 20 pages left. I've stopped growing concerned that these characters are gonna die, just because they just always manage to, like, get their way out of shit, so I don't know. We'll see. I just finished chapter 77. So I just finished the book. I have transcended space and time. I am forever changed. I don't know how to rate this book because I'd give it a 5-star rating, but I've given so many other books 5-star ratings that are just don't even remotely compare. Like this redefines a 5-star book for me. I think I've been pretty clear throughout my reading it why I loved it so much. I do think this is my favorite book of all time, and I do think Nesta is my favorite character that has ever existed. This sort of anti-hero arc, I mean obviously the spice was great, but that was, you know, I think this book might be known for the spice, but it's so much more than that as well, and it makes the spice good because it is so much more than that. I'm kind of depressed. I don't want to read about any other characters, so I'm probably just gonna take like a day off of reading just to process. But I think I'm gonna end the vlog. There's not much else to say. You have to read the book. I know a lot of people who read the first 4 books and then kind of like waited until this one came out. Like I know a lot of people aren't like super excited to read it, but it is like the best book I've ever read. Like you have to. I mean, the rest of the series is great too, obviously, but like I literally can't put it into words how much I love this book. Yeah, anyway, so thank you so much for watching and for reading with me. And if you've read this book and you want to share your thoughts and just like gush with me, I would love to chat with you. I'm gonna go book shopping for some more fantasy books in my next video, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you're all having a lovely week and weekend, I guess. And I will see you in the next one.